Hey folks, this is Ms. Johnny come lately to the discussion about terminology in the within and without the trans community. I thought I'd start it off first by thanking you guys for posting your videos and starting what always ends up being a sort of interesting discussion, I think, about both how we define ourselves and how we want others to perceive us through labels, through terminology. I think your videos have generated a lot of good discussion that's important for pushing the movement forward for trans liberties, trans rights. But I would pose this question: should we necessarily focus so much on terminology and labels? Is that the most constructive way to use our energy? Is there other things that we should focus on instead? And I say that knowing that I don't have any answers for those questions. But I would just put this out there. In my experience, and I've been part of some very long and in-depth and usually end up being acrimonious discussions about terminology within the trans community. And it seems that today we've gotten no further than we were five years ago. We're still squabbling. Squabbling? That's not a word. Sorry. But we're still fighting over labels in effect, and I think while having those discussions is important. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Interrupted by the dog barking. So what was the question? Crap. So should the focus be on terminology and on labels, or should it be on something else? And I don't know what that something else should be, but maybe should it be on how we present ourselves to the world and focusing on getting ourselves out there and more in the world, so that, because to me, we can talk about, till we're blue in the face about, what people should call us, what we should refer to other people as, but without putting ourselves out there more. And, I mean this a lot towards myself because I should definitely be out there more. But putting ourselves out there more and letting people know that we're human beings, that we're intelligent, functional people, can do a lot more than, putting up a video and saying, well, these are the labels X, X, and X that I think we should use. Because there's always going to be somebody that disagrees with those terms. In my opinion. So, again, I think it's important that in the end there comes to be some consensus about terminology. There'll always be people that disagree with that. There'll always be some disagreements over what's most effective as far as terminology and labels. So that maybe we should think about changing the focus a little more. And maybe you guys have already thought about this, and it's just that, right now you're discussing the terminology, and later you'll discuss other things to focus on. But I just figured I'd pose that question and put it out there that, whether you're militant or whether you're a patient educator about terminology, maybe necessarily doesn't matter, because as Project Dan said, there's room for both of those, and both of those processes, both of those ways of doing things are important, and they're not exclusive. But that maybe it's time to try and move beyond arguing over labels Is there a better way to approach things to move the fight for rights forward? I don't know.